Straight up, hard the is tall in the phone, don't stop. Watch the trunk pop.
Yeah, I can. Dre do it all the time. All right, we recording.
What's happening? What it do? We back another week. Um, I did manage to get a Cowboy fan on the pod tonight. You know what I'm saying? The other two, found themselves something to do for the night. I guess they still licking their wounds. Particularly, the one who said that Cowboys was Super Bowl contender. I don't understand why he refuses to come on and face the people, and tell the people what is going on in Dallas. But
That's
as
Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard, boy, bobbing and weaving. They bobbing and weaving right now.
nah, he ain't even getting in the ring. So, if anything, he Durant, who quit in the corner.
No mind.
Man, look, man, look
He
here,
didn't
look here,
quit.
man.
He
Look here,
quit on
man.
the stool. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
No
Man,
mind. You
man.
know what I'm saying? He don't want to come
You
back out. He don't want to come out that corner. You know
you
what I'm saying?
you drug my kinfo long enough. The man said he would jump on as soon as he done doing what he doing.
No,
Don't
no,
know
no,
when that's gonna be or if he gonna
no.
show up, but until the show over with, he don't come on. Let's give that man a little bit of benefit of that.
I'm
Just a
not
little
giving
bit.
him nothing. Not nothing.
Just a little
But,
bit.
but as I was saying, so since we do have a resident Cowboy fan on, and he wasn't able to make it because he was with his family, which I told y'all in mine. I understood, spending time with your family on the holiday, wasn't able to make it on. So I wasn't finna drag nobody. We got
Yeah,
the
he
resident
tried. He threw.
Cowboy
He
fan.
now. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm gonna just get started. We can get through with it. You did try to drag us a little bit. Said it was mighty funny, and you tried to say that if we had won, we'd have found a way to get on here. I'm gonna go ahead and say now, speak for me alone. Had we won, I still would not have gotten on if we pulled that out because that was an ugly game. I was not happy with that game at all the whole time I'm watching. Okay, the only other thing I really want to address, because the people that watch the podcast, I'm sure the same ones that's gonna watch this, watch you do the solo dolo as you call it. So ain't nothing for me to add to what you said. I agree with what I saw you said. I didn't get to watch everything because I started watching a little late right before this show. Uh, as you like to call him, the Marshmallow Man. Okay, you say he look a little slow. Well, when you got knee injuries you've been dealing with for 3 weeks, you're gonna be a little slower. Okay, now I think they should have ran him more. Zeke is one of those backs. He gets better the more he carries the ball. He does have a slow start most of the time. Pollard has a faster start. That's why they try to mix him in, get him involved a little early. Zeke gets better as the game go on, when he can lean on defense and you know wear him out a little bit. They a little bit more tired. He gets going a little bit more, but he has been dealing with injuries. They didn't run him like they should have because I mean, let's be real. You have no Amari, no CD Lamb. Yes, I'm about to stack the box. After I saw what Noah Brown and Cedric Wilson do the week before, I'm not worried about them. Michael Gallup only back his second week. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to prove to me you as good as you were before you was out. That you can carry the team, and he did good. 106 yards. A lot of that some kind of garbage time in a way because we couldn't do nothing but pass the ball. But so when you stack in the box and you get behind early, because the defense, oh man, they let me down after the last 2 3 weeks of holding their own and it being on the offense. This is the game we really needed them the most, in my opinion. Given not only was we missing a starting number one receiver, we missing a starting number two receiver in Lamb to start the game off with, and you got an injured running back, which is no excuse. You suited up, you come out here to play, then okay, you're gonna tough it out. But yeah, they let us down, man. And it is what it is. I'm not the Cowboy fan said we were Super Bowl bound. I do believe we still playoff bound. But we're gonna have to fix some stuff very quick, man. I was so unhappy with the offensive calling. You said that in the last video. I was so unhappy with the way we called that game. So unhappy with the OC in that game, the DC in that game. I'm gonna just tell you, there's a thumbs down for everybody in that game but Michael Parsons. He's the only one that seems to have a consistent thumbs up every week. Dude played out his mind as he does every week. That's the only thumbs up, stock up, whatever it is Deron used. Everybody else was a stock down, hands down. I give Gallup second game back, 106 yards, but there was still a key drop in there. You know, receivers did play better, but not well enough. There was no separation. You know, hardly any separation at all, and that's what hurt us the most. Dak, big thumbs down. You know, throwing all over the place. You know, accuracy was not where it had been. So that's all I got to say on that, man. Big stock down on everybody but Michael Parsons. Defensive
Before I
player of
go
the
to
year. I don't know if they can give him that, but he should be defensive player of the year as well as defensive rookie of the year. He need to get both titles.
this,
That's
let's
just me. That's just me. I haven't watched anybody else closely, but you see what this dude does as a linebacker, drafted as a linebacker. This dude lines up on both sides of the line, middle linebacker, weak side linebacker. This dude is all over the field, making play after play after play after play. To do that in his rookie year, for me, yeah, that's why I say defensive player of the year. But
well
that's
before
my
I pass
opinion.
before I pass it to Dre. Number one, you got Miles Garrett who got like 16 sacks so far, and still got 6 games. Like he's not defensive player of the year. Now rookie of the year, I can understand, but you talking about giving them both awards? I mean, come on,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. I
That's a
mean,
little bit
this
of
dude.
that's a little cowboy color
No,
glasses
no,
that you got on.
no, 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 for real. For real. You watch this dude play every single week, bro. All over the field. Miles Garrett played basically with one side. This dude plays both sides of the defensive line, middle linebacker, weak side line. He plays like 4 or 5. This dude has even been in the tackle position, bro. This dude is all over the field. That's the only reason why. It doesn't matter if he was a Cowboy or a 49er or a Texan. Really.
Yeah,
We,
but what I'm saying
but
is,
that's
so
just me.
he don't get extra credit because the rest of the defense is so bad that your defensive coordinator has to move him around to try and stop leaks everywhere else. Because when he ain't on the line, you ain't getting no pressure. When he ain't at
Right.
linebacker, you can't stop the run or stop the pass around across the middle. So because your defensive coordinator and coaches out of necessity has to put him at these extra positions, don't give him no extra credit.
Oh, yes, it does. To
No, it
have that
does.
versatility
I
that
mean,
your
not to
your
me.
coach put you in all those positions, bro. Tell me who else does that? Who else has the ability, the skill set, the confidence from his coaches to play in all those positions? Yes, it is out of necessity because we're missing Lawrence, we're missing Randy Gregory. Yes, it's out of necessity. But to have the versatility to do it and still be productive as he's been, this dude has more sacks his rookie year than DeMarcus Ware had his rookie year as a linebacker.
Who is DeMarcus Well?
That's a big deal for a rookie. He's the only one that done it, from my understanding. In his rookie year, that's the stat I heard. I
Well,
ain't researched it to
his
find out for
rookie
myself.
year, DeMarcus Well rookie year, he was outdone by Sean Marion. Sean Marion won Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he had more sacks than DeMarcus Ware did.
Was he a
So
rookie?
maybe in
Was
the
he a
Cowboy
rookie?
building,
Was
huh?
Marion a rookie the same time DeMarcus
Yes,
Ware
they
was a
both
rookie?
came out in the same draft.
Okay, well, I'm giving you the stat they said. DeMarcus Ware only had 8. His rookie year was the most by a rookie. This dude beat him by
Rookie
1.
Cowboy by
Maybe
rookie
so.
Cowboy. Yeah,
Maybe so.
because
I didn't hear that part, but maybe
Alden
that's what they
Smith,
said.
Alden Smith had 14 and a half sacks as a rookie.
Okay. I ain't arguing with you.
Uh,
Like I said, I ain't researched it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going by what I heard them say, and maybe I missed the in Cowboy history. I
right,
could have missed that portion. I was a
right.
little hot when it was spitting out the stuff. It was a
No,
little
and so the last
upset.
thing,
So let's move on. Let's give Dre
yeah,
his. Oh,
yeah.
you got
I'm
something else
finna
to say?
give it
Go
to Dre.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Last
Because I,
thing
I want to stop talking about it.
before we go to Dre, last thing. Don't be out here trying to do give no shout outs to this sucker who ain't show up with the stock up, stock down. That sucker wanted to let everybody know stock up, stock down. He could have came on here and let everybody know.
I'm
He
not
ain't
giving
want
him
to
a
show
shout
up.
out. I'm
Well,
not giving him a shout out,
well,
bro.
well,
I'm saying
well, I
based
don't
on how we've
appreciate
been
you
going
carrying
with
on
this,
his
I
tradition
can
when
I
he
can
ain't here to carry it
carry
on
on what I
himself.
want to carry on.
I don't appreciate it. Come on, Dre.
But you ain't got to.
But
But you
nah, man,
notice I said everybody was stocked down. So
it's just once again the Cowboys. helped make my Thanksgiving great. You know what I'm saying? It was enjoyable. After a good Thanksgiving dinner, to watch that, oh my
Can we
God.
just talk as
I,
football fans, man, instead of your bias and how happy it
I don't
made
know
you?
what was better, my dad's fried turkey or seeing the Cowboys lose to the Raiders.
You need some help, bro. If that's your highlight, my team losing. That makes your
Oh
Thanksgiving like
man,
that. Something wrong,
it wasn't
Kessler.
about y'all losing. It's how y'all lost. You know what I'm saying? To the team y'all lost. And after y'all starting off clicking on all cylinders and all aspects of the game, for now, offense is struggling a little bit. It's not a consistent, not running on all cylinders. Defense is just, oh my God. It don't matter what team. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars drive on them Cowboys right about now. So it's just how y'all losing right now. If it was competitive games against good teams, then hey, you take the losses. If you losing to teams that are, upper echelon of the NFC or the AFC, yeah. But y'all getting y'all behind spanked by a whole division. That AFC West is just y'all better be glad y'all in the NFC. But outside of that, it's what we expected. It ain't nothing new. Accident waiting to happen. That's just the Cowboys. But like I said before, I really think it's a culture thing with the Cowboys because y'all are a talented roster. Talented roster. I actually did right in the drafts the last couple of years. I just think it's a culture. And I really think Jerry Jones needed to think outside the box and really hire coaches who's not in the Cowboy tree. You know what I'm saying? New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. I mean, way out the box. Somebody young, exciting. Eric B. I keep bringing up his name, somebody like that. Or what's the name with the boy that left the 49ers, went to the Jets? Salah.
Right, Salah.
Yeah, somebody just young, out the box, inventive that can take all that talent and really gel it together and keep it clicking on all cylinders throughout the season and keep things in the back pocket for crucial times because I'm still waiting to see the creativity from the Cowboys and a little creative move y'all tried this week that wasn't creative enough. I forgot the sequence, but y'all was it was goal line and y'all did something and I was like, what the heck? Even the commentator said they was trying to be creative, but Shannon Sharp said it the next day, Friday on Undisputed. He said they tried to be creative because most just like me, for example, I'm watching the Cowboys all season. Where's creativity? Where's the creativity? And they tried it, but it was like a poor attempt. It was I don't even know what they was thinking at that time. So like Shannon Sharp says, they like damn that they do, damn that they don't. You know what I'm saying? Instead of handing the ball off up the middle, I believe it's a running. Y'all should have ran it, but y'all ended up passing it or something like that.
Now they tried to do some little razzle dazzle. They didn't block the defensive end.
Yeah, there you
Handed it to Elliott, and then had him toss it back to
Yeah, double
Cedric Wilson or whoever that was coming across the formation. Kind of like a reverse. Like I did not understand that play whatsoever. You at the 1 yard line. You got the Marshmallow Man, the Teletubby himself, making $16 million a year, and you with that offensive line, you can't line up behind your All-Pro guard or your All-Pro left tackle and run that in from a yard.
Yeah.
They outsmarted themselves. They instead of being creative, you should have been vanilla in that situation and pounded it in for a yard. They did it early in the game when they run back a running back. I can't think of his name right now. But he got them all the way down to the 1 yard line.
Talking about Pollard.
Pollard, yeah. Got them all the way down to the 1 and then pulled them out and let Elliott go in and run it in for a touchdown. You already done it. So why not do it again? Instead, you trying to be cute.
Because our offensive line was not the offensive line they normally are. Even though they put Steele back over to the right and had Smith coming at the left, as you said, the offensive line was horrible. Well, you may have said it, I've said it. The offensive line was horrible in this game. Dak didn't have much time. He running for his life again. Pollard only averaged 3.6 yards. He had 10 carries for 36 yards. This dude usually averaged 5 plus. Heck, he only averaged 3.6. So they was keying in on the run. Like I said, they was not afraid of anybody else on that team except the running game because they know how bad they running defense is. So they keyed in on that. And so offensive line got manhandled again like they did against Detroit. How in the world that happened? I don't know. The Kansas City
You
manhandled them.
been Kansas
So
City?
no,
Y'all ain't played
Detroit,
Detroit.
not Detroit, not Denver is what I meant.
Damn,
My
okay.
bad. Denver, Denver, KC, and the Raiders manhandled the offensive line, and that is the key to throwing our offense off rhythm. That's the key. You manhandle the offensive line. That's your key to winning. That's the true formula to beating the Cowboys offense anyway.
Well,
Defense
yeah,
was
that but
playing well.
that's pretty
This is
much
the first
everything.
game. Yeah, this is the first game they actually in a while they've given up 30 plus points. It's been a little minute since they've given up 30 plus points, and then you do it to the doggone Raiders.
They gave up 30 points to Denver.
Yeah,
Remember,
that's what
Denver had was
two three
up 30
games
to
ago,
nothing at the end of the third quarter.
2 or 3 games ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I
But
just at this particular point, it's what I expected. Like I said, I expect them to win the division. I expect them to go to the playoffs. It's just as of right now, what I see, even though Antoine said don't bring up about the sucker that's not on on the on the tape. I am watching the game. I am paying attention, like he said 3 or 4 weeks ago. And based on what I see, the eye test, they not the top 4 or 5 out the NFC. So I expect them first round exit. It's just what I expect. I
um,
respect Tony for being honest for what he see. He see a playoff team that he says right now he doesn't see as a Super Bowl contender, and I can salute that. But that's
nah,
all
I
I
But
got.
don't.
there's still a lot of football left.
It is.
I'm not finna bury I'm not finna bury Dallas or talk about how things gonna play out in the playoffs. They still got a lot of time, to get their swagger back and to go into the playoffs on fire. And they are a talented team. You know what I'm saying? They have deficiencies at the coaching staff, and stuff like that. Or I'm gonna say the head coach, and some other issues, but every team got some issues, so they will be able to compete, I believe, with anybody in the NFL. But I'm not trusting them to sit up and say that they are a Super Bowl contender. Like the sucker who shall not be named once said on this very
That
podcast, week 3 of the season.
that's one thing I
Well, I do
definitely
got
could agree
another
with you with
coaching
on, bro.
question.
I can definitely my pen keep going in the way. I can definitely agree with what you just said. We got the talent. We're gonna make the playoffs, but I'm not trusting them to say they are Super Bowl contender. The consistency is not there enough for me. Even through the 6 game win, through a lot of lesser teams, you know what I'm saying. There was still some struggles. You got the Chargers, who we barely beat. They really beat themselves. I said that even back then. I take the W. Don't get me wrong, but the Chargers beat themselves. There were some games that was pretty close. There were some games we have yet to put a solid game together from start to finish on all 3 phases consistently. I think we may have one game, maybe. I'd have to look back at the schedule. There's one game I think we came close to that. A lot of things went right our way, but there's only one game out of what 11,
Well, I can
10,
remember I can remember
11.
two
Yeah,
for
11 games.
sure: the Atlanta game and the
That's the
the
one.
the Philly game. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
y'all dominated. I feel like y'all dominated Philly completely. Blew them out the water. And the same thing with Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Y'all dominated that game and completely blew them out the water. So you do have some of those performances. You just haven't had them against um the upper echelon talent, but some of that comes back to your schedule. You can only play who you scheduled to play.
Yeah, Atlanta's the only one I really feel that way. Philly, I don't really put much into the Philly only because it's a division rival. We see them twice a year. We kind of know each other. They may turn around and do the same thing to us this next game. Like I said, Washington play us tough. We got to play them twice. So I agree, but Atlanta really for me is the only team where we just really dominated in all three phases from start to finish. Other than that, we have been really inconsistent. Which, that's those games allow you to, once you get closer to the playoffs, to really put it all together and go in hot. Been able to fight through those games. But we've been inconsistent the last three games, losing two out of three. Um, you know, the, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad Philly lost. That helped. It allows us to keep our 3 game, distance from them. Because the Giants was 1 game below them. So we still maintain a 3 game lead with 6 games left to go. So, I am happy Philly lost,
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
we not gonna
disappointed in our performance, man. I'm real disappointed in our performance lately.
yeah, we're not gonna really address that game, but just from before we move on, I'm gonna say that Philly Giants game, that was Philadelphia reading their own press clippings. You
Yeah.
playing high is no way you should lose to the Giants in this situation, especially when you have a chance to gain a game on the team that's leading in your division. You have to be able to bring that game home. And for them to not bring it home, that lets me know that is a young, immature team that got to listening to all of the chatter, seeing the Cowboys lose, and got too big headed and thought that they was just gonna stroll into New York and play the Giants, and the Giants was gonna lay down for them. And
No,
division games don't go that way.
nope,
They don't go that way.
not at all. But, you got to say, I think the Giants defense has been solid for most of the year. Their offense is just what's been holding them back. So that goes with what you're saying, though. You know, Philly drunk their own Kool-Aid, and it cost them, which I'm so happy they did. I ain't gonna lie. Be real
Quick
about it.
question.
All
I
right,
do pose a question. If the Cowboys are one and done, do y'all fire Mark? I mean Mike? With the healthy Dak, all that the weapons y'all have, team.
I think Jerry gives him at least one more year. You look at his first years under COVID 2020,
Mm.
nothing real. This is first year he actually had a for real training camp and OTAs and all that mini camps and all that. And if he get him to the playoffs after going what 6-10 last year, say you hit 11-6, 12-5 this year, because we 7-4 now. Say you hit 12-5, 11-6 this year, get into the playoffs. Even if you won and done, I think they give him one more year to build because he's still going up, even though his decision making sometimes is very questionable and just outright idiotic. I think Jerry gives him one more year because as you had your first year, it almost don't count in a way for a new coach. It's your first full year. Let's give you one more. We had some injuries that hurt. We lost 2 games with no Amari Cooper in the lineup, and I'm pretty sure there's some stuff Jerry gonna look at. No CD Lamb this last game. No D. Lawrence, no Randy Gregory for the last. Well, D. Lawrence ain't made an appearance yet. Randy Gregory to missed like his 3rd game. So I think he'd give him benefit of the doubt. It just depend on how we end this season and what we look like in the playoffs. Well, I believe they give him the benefit of the doubt and give him at least one more year. I wouldn't be mad if they cut him, but I think they give him one more year.
Yeah,
Baker, put up again.
I don't think you cut him after two seasons, especially if they win a division and go to the playoffs. Even if they lose in wild card weekend, I don't think you fire them off of that. You give them a 3rd year and see if they can improve. Now, if they regress in year 3, then I can understand you moving on from them. But now I don't think they should fire him after 2 years, especially if they can finish this thing and win a division and make it to the postseason. But back to what Dre had just mentioned, the game for Sunday Night Football just came to an end. Baltimore wins it 16-10.
Baker couldn't do nothing in the clutch.
Old Faker, faithful Faker, comes through for me again. You know what I'm saying? And I told my homeboy, I say, man, if Faker is able to pull this off and beat Baltimore tonight, I'll put a B in front of his name. You know what I'm saying? I'll address him as Baker, but boy, oh boy, he does it again. You throw the ball short of the sticks on 4th and 10.
Yeah.
Knowing your team gotta have it. And some of that is on your tight end who runs that route. But come on, man. Come on, man. So y'all want to touch on this game, or we just move on to something else?
Yeah, it's not a lot to touch on, man. A lot of mistakes on both sides, from both teams offensively. Defense, held it together for both, kept it close. Jackson's just a better QB than Faker. So he was able to pull it out with he had 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
He threw.
Oh, in 52. In NFL history, a team that threw 4 interceptions was 0-52, regular season and postseason. And Faker Mayfield is the one who makes sure that streak gets broken. Like, does anything else need to be said, man? Does anything else need to be said?
That is a crazy stat.
Well, records are made to be broken.
Huh?
Records are made to be broken, so
you need to be fired.
Faker broke a record today.
Yeah.
Just on that stat alone.
The kind of record you do not want to be attributed to your resume. You know what I'm saying? 0-52, and you the one. You the one who allows your team to be that 1-52.
When the defense play that good and you lose
Yes.
the game.
Yes.
So here comes another question. Is Faker gone next year for the Browns?
He out of there. He out of there.
You got to.
He out of there. He out.
To.
Hey man, Cleveland is gonna go after Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and don't be surprised if they go after Jimmy
or Deshaun.
I don't know if they go after Deshaun, because if they was gonna do it, they would have done it. Well, no, maybe not. But I don't know. I don't know if Deshaun.
I don't know if they have the draft capital after all they did to get all those players.
I don't know if Deshaun ain't gonna get no real interest until they figure out what's gonna happen with this case. He seemed to be a little blackballed right now in the league.
I don't think he'll waive the trade clause to go to Cleveland.
I mean, but why not? You got talent over there. You got a running game. You got a defense.
Yes.
You got You got a good tight end.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think Deshaun more worried about the glitz and glamour right now. He's trying to go to Miami so bad, and Miami don't got the team to, Deshaun worried about the black head coach and the black GM. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man,
if he don't,
the glitz and glamour.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I would say glitz and glamour is what got you in this problem you in right now, bro. Take your butt somewhere and calm down for a few years. You know what I'm saying? Them country girls in Cleveland ain't gonna say nothing. Don't take your butt out there and be low key and just do your thing. You can't talk about my squad like that, man. Look here, bro.
Look, if that's what he worried about, at this point, then he deserved to go down as a loser. Like, the one thing that Cleveland does have is they have talent. They have talent around him. You in a division that is now wide open. You can see that the defense is good enough to stop or contain and compete with Lamar Jackson.
You know who else
your roster is better than Pittsburgh's. You should be able with him, Deshaun Watson. You should be able to compete with Cincinnati and Baltimore for that division. So if you worrying about glitz and glamour, instead of going to a team that's one gonna pay you your money that you done already got your contract for, and two that's gonna give you a chance to compete on the big stage. You know what I'm saying? To compete for Super Bowl appearances, then man, you deserve whatever you got coming to you. Like
Bruh,
straight
you
up.
know who else he could go to that's ready? Denver Broncos.
That's another one.
Denver
Well,
Broncos got
that's a team
talent.
that really want to come after him.
That's what he if he's not gonna go to Cleveland, he need to go to Denver. They ready made, bro. I was watching the game today with Bridgewater. You
Yeah.
know, he's a decent quarterback, but he's not an elite talent like Deshaun Watson. I'm telling you, if they had an elite quarterback or someone close to being elite, like a Deshaun Watson or Dak or whoever, you know what I'm saying? That's that top 8 to 10, because Bridgewater's not a top 10 quarterback to me. Man, you get you a top 7, top 8 quarterback, man, to go with that defense, them wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? They got a decent running game, good tight end, man. He could take them somewhere.
Yeah. They Denver should move heaven and earth to get him.
Yeah,
They really should.
they should.
I mean,
If
I
it
heard
costs you,
they was
if
in
it
the
costs you
running.
3 first round picks, if it costs you 3 first round picks and a couple of third, you better give it up, man.
They was in the running. They was one of the first teams to jump in there, but he has a trade clause, and he's strong arming it to go to Miami because Philly was in the mix, and Philly got all the draft capital. Philly got 3 first round picks coming up.
Yeah, stay away from Philly, Deshaun. Stay away.
All right. All right, let's go on and move on to Tampa Bay Indy. That was a real good game.
Yeah, that was.
That was a good
Until
game, man.
until the bum showed up. He was good, bro. I was like, okay, I got something for him. Yeah. He doing. Yep, the bum showed up at the end. Couldn't pull it out.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
It don't matter. You can say what you want about Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna say what I want about Carson Wentz. He was doing good. I was prepared again to come give him his props, but then the bum showed up. So that's just where I'm at.
Okay, so let me tell you what I saw.
Okay.
I saw the GOAT drive down the field late in the fourth quarter of a tie ball game, take the lead, and Carson Wentz had seconds. He throws a pick, but it's a Hail Mary. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't hold that against him in that situation. That is that to be able to complete that play to force overtime is less than 5% chance. A Hail Mary play, you know what I'm saying? When you got 8 defensive backs in the end zone to cover 3 people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not holding that against him. It was a real good game.
Kickoff return, though.
Huh?
It was a good kickoff return. I thought that boy could take it back.
Yeah. And I do believe that maybe had they been closer, where if he could have got tackled at about the 25, that opens up your playbook and your opportunities, your chances. But being right there down there midfield, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
when
man.
that dude dropped the tight on the play before the Hail Mary, the tight end dropped the ball going towards the sideline. I think that would have got him right there in striking range. But like you said, they could have did some posts, some double moves, everything.
Look here, bro. So from the third quarter out, second half, this dude fumbles the ball. Then he turns around, throws an interception. Then he 3-play and he's out. That's a punt. Okay. Then you got he scored another touchdown. And then the end of the game's interception. Bum. Sorry. Bum. You ain't help your defense out at all against the GOAT. This is your opportunity to shine, bro. This right here would have took you straight out of bum status in everybody's eyes, especially mine. I'd have pulled you on out of the bum status at least for a week. Like I said, first half, I'm like, this dude lighting it up. He dropping bombs. He got them going. They was up. I don't even remember how many points they was up at the time. But they was clearly in the lead. And then you start making mistakes, putting your defense out on the field too long. Third quarter, you had no sustainable drive until you got the touchdown in the fourth quarter that tied the game. And then you go and throw an interception. Okay, you had 20 seconds, but still, everything leading up to that, bro. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers can do it, if Tom Brady doing it, you supposed to have all this talent.
They ain't doing it in 20 seconds with no timeout.
Yeah,
they ain't do
that. Yeah, they have.
And then where they needed, where they had to get a touchdown, with 20 seconds and no timeout. And you say he didn't help his defense out. Well, he scored a touchdown to tie the ball game.
They was already tied.
His defense needed to get a stop, get him the ball back, and give him another, extra.
They was already tied.
They let the clock run out the clock and score a touchdown.
Right, and that's why he's the GOAT. But you don't let it get that close, man. Bum, I don't care. You got Faker over there in Cleveland. He's a bum over in the Colts. That's just my opinion. So until he proved to me that he can not lose a game, he can keep his team in the lead and not do nothing for the whole second half. You ain't do nothing the whole second half. That's what I mean. Nothing in the whole second half. You didn't even get him in field goal range. Fumbles, interceptions. You got 3 turnovers in the second half.
One of them don't count. It was a Hail Mary.
I don't care. It show up as an interception.
All right.
Turnover.
Dre, you got something before we go move on?
Man, I mean, it's just more of, that's the team that's going to actually represent the AFC South. As you see with Julio, A.J. Brown, and
that's where we was going next.
Henry.
That's where we was going next.
So they gone. So I think the Colts are going to win it by default. But they're a scary team. With Taylor in the backfield and the offensive line and defense against the Super Bowl champs, they went toe-to-toe. You know what I'm saying? So I actually think they might make some noise. But go ahead.
Nothing, but I ain't gonna say nothing to that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, you can address it. You can address it because I know where your mind went. My mind went there, but it went on the opposite side. Because what I thought of is, well, then I think that means that Indianapolis Colts fans could take that as a moral victory. You know what I'm saying? They celebrate. They celebrate like Cowboys fans did. You know what I'm saying? After losing close to the Super Bowl champ.
To the moral victory. I'm just saying from what we're speaking in reference to is calling Wentz a bum. Wentz kept him in the game. Wentz played enough for them to, good enough for them to win. You know what I'm saying?
He did nothing the whole second half, Dre. He did nothing the whole second half, though. He did nothing the whole second half.
We're talking about a good team, though. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you're going to score on every possession against good teams. What was the score?
30. Hold on.
1-36.
38-31.
Yeah, 38-31.
They scored 31 points against.
That's good enough to win.
That's good enough to win. But go ahead, next game.
Yeah, next game.
Next game, we gonna go to Tennessee, New England.
Yeah, I'm glad you went to that.
I told you so. I told you so.
So what?
Weeks ago, I said, man, y'all better keep your eye on New England.
I believe
New England look like they're starting to get it together. New England look like they playing some ball. You know what I'm saying? And Dre, and the sucker who shall not be named, sat up and almost laughed me off the screen. And
they laughed you. They laughed.
I was doing too much. You right, bro.
Said the same thing.
You right. But they laughed out screaming. They not finna win that division. They not finna beat Buffalo. They ain't finna do none of that. Blah blah blah.
Nah.
Get it all. Leading.
What is their record, Dre? They 8-4, bro.
8
and look what they got to do the rest of the schedule.
They done won 6 games. They done won 6 games in a row. They the hottest team in football right now.
They just play the teams on their schedule. Bump teams. They ain't play nobody. They caught Tennessee without the people I just mentioned. We all know that.
Bruh.
They ain't beat no. They ain't just beat no bum teams. Don't do that.
No, hold on. But don't even come with that. The Henry, because the 2 running backs they had both went over 400 yards.
Right.
They had over 200 yards rushing.
If Foreman and Hillard got 100 yards, I can imagine what Henry would have did to him. I can only imagine.
He wouldn't have done more than that because then you keying on him. You're not keying on these 2 dudes, and they still was able to run the ball. Ryan Tannehill poo-pooed.
Imagine if A.J. Brown and Julio Jones was out there too. Can't key on them then. That's my point. That's why before the
that ain't a point. Injuries happen.
Now they're not even going to make the playoffs.
How you figure they're 8-4 too?
Who?
Tennessee 8-4. Tennessee.
Every
They
AFC
8-4.
every AFC team got 4 losses. Go look how many teams in the AFC got
No,
4 losses. It's like
the
10 of
Colts
them.
have 6. The Colts have 6. So they
No,
still looking to win. They do. No, they got 6. They lost today. They 6-6.
I gotta go look at that. I thought there was only
Yeah.
one game.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. They 6-6. Tennessee 8-4.
Yeah, but look at the rest of them. Matter of fact, even New England Patriots got 4 losses. Look how many teams is with them with 4 losses. New England Patriots lose 1 game, they drop like to the 8th seed.
It ain't no 8 seed.
Like 7 teams that walked in today with either 3 or 4 losses in the AFC.
You have
They only like
Tennessee's 8-4. Kansas City 7-4 on the bye. Cincinnati 7-4. Baltimore's 8-3. Bills are 7-4. New England's 8-4. So New England got a half a game above Buffalo, but right now they still in the running to win their division.
Yeah, until they play Buffalo twice.
The only team they got to worry about as far as a wild card right now is Cincinnati.
Oh no, they're gonna worry about the Colts. Colts gonna win it. Well, the Colts win their division.
How you figure the Colts gonna win their division? That ain't guaranteed. They 6-6.
They
Tennessee
2 games
8-4.
behind. They 2 games, probably 3 games behind Tennessee. If Tennessee beat them head to head already.
Tennessee lost to the Texans and lost to the Patriots. They gonna lose to the Colts again.
Well, they don't play the Colts again. Tennessee about to play Jaguars. They're about to play the Jaguars. They're gonna play Pittsburgh. Who's sorry? They just got stomped by Cincinnati today. They play the Dolphins. That may be here nor there. They played pretty good lately. They got the Texans at the end. The only game in here that they're going to probably really struggle with because of their defense mostly is San Francisco. But with San Francisco's offense been kind of kicking with Deebo Samuel stepping in even as running back. I mean, so to me, that's the only guarantee, in my opinion, at this point, guaranteed loss I see is against San Fran because of their defense and if their offense continue to stay healthy. The rest of these 4 games, those are up in the air.
True, you're right. You got
I don't even really think they up in the air. Tennessee, the Texans game is a definite win. I think the Jaguars game is a definite win.
Now,
they just
Texans, I don't say
last week.
I don't say Texans is a definite win because Texans is with Tyrod back, division game. Last game of the season. I want to be a spoiler if I can be. Yeah, I don't give division wins, division games. I don't say that's automatic.
I'm guaranteeing they not gonna lose a second game to the Texans.
And you might be right.
I'm about 98% sure that they not gonna lose to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's strength is they run defense and their ability to run the football. But you can get them in the air. So long as Tannehill, can right the ship this next week, they should be able to beat Jacksonville.
No, well, they're about to be on a bye.
That would put them at 10 wins right there.
Tennessee about to be on his own bye next week.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if they just beat the Texans and the Jaguars, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna give them 10 wins.
Yeah. Well, they probably need one more because you got 6 games left.
Extra game this year, so 10 ain't gonna do
6 games left. Yeah, they're gonna have to get 11. They got to win 5 of the next 6.
But why?
No, I mean 4 of the next 6.
So 10-7 ain't gonna get them the 7th seed in the AFC.
10-7.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
It might give us a wild card. I don't think it's gonna win.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. That's a guarantee.
Whether or not they're gonna win a division.
No, I'm talking about just them making the playoffs.
Oh, they might make it as a wild card. If they make it as a wild card, that's my reason why I'm not sold on the Patriots here. There are too many teams that's still in the mix that I think, like you just said, Tennessee got an easy schedule. While the Patriots got to play Buffalo twice.
But we've been seeing Buffalo shine wear off a lot lately. They won Thursday night. Who they beat Thursday?
Saints.
Yeah, they beat Trevor Simeon and the New Orleans Saints with no Alvin Kamara, no Michael Thomas. You know what I'm saying? So they was able to beat them up. I ain't just finna, I don't think that it's a foregone conclusion that they finna beat New England. And the next time that they play, it's next Sunday night in New England. You know what I'm saying? So if New England win that game, I think it's a wrap. I think New England wins their division.
Y'all can talk noise next week if they do.
I'm talking
all I can tell you.
I told y'all put your eyes on them, and y'all poo-pooed it. And New England is making me yet again look like I'm the brightest color in the coloring box.
You ain't by yourself, bro. Don't keep just trying to take some credit for yourself, bro. I was one of the first ones to say it.
You right. You was right there with me.
As long as you keep the same energy in December, Grace. That's it. As long as y'all Grace keep the same energy.
No. Right now, the only energy we need is if they make the playoffs. That's what we said. We ain't said nothing past that. We didn't say they look like they can make a Super Bowl run or they was going to get to the AFC Championship.
Right.
We said after the way they started that they look playoff bound because they've been showing up week after week.
After week. Six wins in a row.
Yes.
6 wins in a row. All right. I don't really want to touch on Denver Chargers. The Chargers, man. That's a team I can see changing their coach. That team is too undisciplined.
That team is the same as always been, even when Phillip Rivers was there. They start off hot, and then they start to fall apart toward the end. I mean, in the middle, and then toward the end, they try to make a comeback, and sometimes eke their way into the playoffs. I don't know what that's another. I'm with Dre. The way he said the Cowboys have a cultural issue, I think the Chargers have a culture issue as well.
Yeah.
I don't get it, bro. It's plenty of talent on that team.
Yeah.
Plenty of talent on both sides of the ball. And for them to be shooting themselves in the foot like this, game after game after game after game, bro, that's coaching to me. That goes beyond the players. You got the talent. You got all of these turnovers. They need to reel Herbert in and get some discipline because holding penalties, offside penalties, false start penalties, illegal motion. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't get a single drive going without a negative play coming from the offense. Like that cannot happen, bro. So that's a team you want to talk about firing a coach at the end of the year. That's definitely a team that I think could and probably should look to get them a new coach, man. You got to get somebody.
Didn't they just fire Lynn the previous season? Isn't this coach's first year?
I thought this was his second year.
Second year? Okay.
Yeah, I thought last year was his first year, but they fired Lynn last year. And so this is his second year. A lot of people picked the Chargers, to beat one of them upper echelon teams. And this is a team that tease you. They show glimpses. But Herbert is lighting it up. They spreading the ball around. You got them big wide receivers. They mix in the run game a little bit. You got playmakers on defense. But then they going to turn around, bro. And any type of leverage that they gain, they going to give it right back to the opposing team. Like, it's like clockwork. They going to do it.
Well, I mean, if we're going to give the Cowboys Mike McCarthy an extra year, this dude should deserve the same extra year. He went through the same thing. COVID last year, and then the first full year trying to implement his game plan, his style and all that. So I think you give him one more year too. If this only second year, I say you give him one more year because they do have the talent. The discipline is not there right now.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
They just like the Cowboys to me. Ton of talent. Ton of talent. Coach come in first year with COVID, first full year with everything. So yeah, I think you give them both one more year. Now after next year, yeah, you can't get deep into the playoffs. You got to go, bro, because y'all got way too much talent at every skill position on the team for the most part. I think we need some more, safeties myself. I think we need to draft a safety this next year for real, for something. But yeah,
All right. So let's go to the Rams getting beat up again. This time they lose to Green Bay. Green Bay beat them by 8. Dre, I really want you to start off because your boy Matthew Padford. Matt Padford
Well, you
pad them
want me to go
stats,
ahead?
boy. He can pad them stats up. This is the third straight game. He done threw a pick six. Cost his team a win again today. So tell us how much he's underrated and all of that type of stuff that you like to tell us about Matt Padford.
Well, let me start by saying the same thing you normally say about your quarterback. What's their record? So instantly he got there and they leading that. Well, I don't know if they're leading their division now since they lost, but they were still one of the top echelon NFC teams. I expect them to be in the second round, possibly the NFC Championship game. I still got the big four with Rams, Cardinals, Packers, Bucks battling it out for the NFC. Ain't nothing changed. He was going against the GOAT. Well, not the GOAT, but one of the top quarterbacks of all times, in Green Bay. Yeah, he made some mistakes, like all quarterbacks do. But I think when it hits the fan, when it's time in the playoffs, he's gonna rise up and still be competitive and lead that team deep in the playoffs.
okay. Matt Stafford or Pafford is entering bum status. He don't look no different right now than he did with Detroit. It seems to me that he made not much difference than Jared Goff, to be honest. Yes, you're 7-4, but you're second in your division, two behind the Arizona Cardinals. And bro, only because the NFC East, the NFC conference is terrible this year, is the only reason why y'all gonna make it to the playoffs. Because you're gonna make it to the playoffs as a wild card because there ain't nobody else to really threaten you. Dallas look to win their division. Green Bay's gonna win their division. Bucks is gonna win their division. Cardinals gonna win their division. So you ain't got nothing but a playoff. Heck, you got the best record out of everybody that ever left. Nobody else besides the Rams even have a winning record. So that's the only reason why you're really making it to the playoffs. To be honest, I'm looking at the records now. The NFC, there's nobody else that has a winning record outside of the four division leaders and the Rams.
No, the San
No, I take
Francisco
it back. I take
49ers.
it back. I see that now. They 6-5. You are correct. My bad. So you got so those your two wild cards.
He threw for 302, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick with a 96.6 quarterback rating.
That's
And
why
we're
he's
talking
called
about
Padford.
bump status.
Yeah.
He scored 28 points against Green Bay in Green Bay with 3 touchdowns and one
Okay.
pick in
Okay.
302, and that's bump status.
Yeah.
21 to 38.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
21
You see?
to
Did you
38.
see the game? You see all the
Yeah,
bad
I watched
decisions
that
he
game.
made? Did you see all the bad decisions he made? Because I saw the same Carson Wentz type bad decision. I said he's entering. I ain't say he that yet, but to me he's entering bum status, bro. You done lost what? I think it's like 3 in a row or something close to that. I mean, come on, man. You was the hottest team in the league. You
He
supposed to take them to the next level.
Rodgers.
You not even at the top of your division no more. You 2 games behind. Heck, bruh, I'm telling you, if the NFC was any better than what it is, you got a lot of bum teams right now in the NFC. Like I said, outside of the four division leaders, the Rams and the 49ers, nobody else even have a winning record. It's different from the if they was in the AFC, they wouldn't make the playoffs. Let's put it like that. If
They in
they
the
was in the AFC, they would not
hole.
play. If they was in the AFC, they would not make the playoffs.
Dre,
He outplayed Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying, who was
Who got the
28
W?
to
Who got the
45
W? Who got the
and only
W?
had 2
Who
touchdowns.
got the W? Who got the
Man,
W?
so I guess it's not a team sport. Like the defense has no say so in giving up 36 points, huh?
Hey, you got to rise to the occasion.
Oh man,
The Tampa Bay defense sucked worse than theirs. I see the GOAT pulled it out. against the bum over on the other side with the Colts. I, you supposed to be this good quarterback, a upper echelon quarterback. You went to a team fully loaded. You supposed to win that game. But your defense can't step up, supposed to step up. You need to get more than 28 points.
Didn't they play him?
With everything they gave him, with everything they gave to get him over there, with everything they gave to get him over there, bro, you supposed to do better than that. With that team right there,
Like they
I'm
played
sorry,
against the
bro.
Colts. He played against the Packers and Green Bay.
And Aaron Rodgers got a broke toe. They still won the game.
So let me jump in here, man. So you talk about his QB rating, but his QBR was 45. He had an interception that was a pick six, and he lost a fumble.
Thank you. I
That
wasn't able to look
pick
at the
that
stats.
pick six is right there at the deciding touchdown. They lost by 8. If you don't throw a pick six, then you possibly give your team a chance to win. But you turned the ball over twice. You could not come up in the clutch when they needed you to. Yes, we know he can pile up stats, but the fact of the matter is, man, is that this dude is looking like he did in Detroit. Like my brother said, he looking like the quarterback that he was in Detroit. And you talking about, well, what you say about Jimmy? What's his record? Well, Jimmy has a career winning record. Matt Padford doesn't. He does not have a career winning record. So he was a loser in Detroit, and his losing ways is starting to infect the Los Angeles Rams.
That was his fault in Detroit. Jimmy would have won in Detroit.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Jimmy would have won in Detroit. I'm not saying nobody was going to win in Detroit. But when you're the number 1 overall pick, and they give you millions and millions on top of millions of dollars, you get Megatron, you get Reggie Bush, you get Golden Tate. Like, you done had weapons over there. And every year you lose. Every single year, except for the 2 times you made the playoffs where you quickly was booted out the playoffs and you lost in the first round. Never won a playoff game. So, yes, he can put up numbers. He can put up stats. Now you can call him James Harden for all I care. But that's pretty much what he is. He's a player that can put up a bunch of numbers in a regular season, but it doesn't equate. I can't even call him James Harden, because James Harden at least led his team to win a playoff series and get into the Western Conference Finals. This dude ain't never been able to win a playoff game. And the way he's playing right now lets you know. What did I tell y'all a couple of weeks ago? This dude is a slightly better Kirk Cousins. Slightly better. Because when the lights is bright, when it's winning time, when it's time for you to put your big boy pants on and beat a good team and go against a good quarterback and beat him, under the lights, he crumbled. Just like old cousin Kirk. So I'm sorry, man. This dude here is not it. And don't look now. But the San Francisco 49ers is a game behind the Rams for the number 5 seed. They're a game behind the Rams for the number 5 seed.
Well, they
don't look down.
Drake, you shaking your head, but they are, bro. Now, they're going to still make it unless, he continues to keep losing. And you have one of these 5 winning teams.
They're gonna make the playoffs. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm just saying, you putting them in the top 4, and San Francisco was a game back.
Well,
it's a game behind them.
Since I had to go back and look at their schedule, they beat the Bucks, and he threw for 348 and 4 touchdowns.
What does that have to do with now? When was that? Last time, Dre. Hold on. You go ahead.
He said against good teams that he doesn't show up against good teams.
When the lights is bright. I'm talking about under the bright lights. You know what I'm saying? When the world is watching.
Against Cincinnati on Sunday Night Football, the lights ain't bright.
I don't remember when he played, but hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. For anybody watching, excuse my language. The sun shines on the dog's ass every once in a while. That don't mean that that dude.
Hold on, Dre.
Right,
so since you want to bring it up, Dre, that's the only team that they beat that was anybody. I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. They ain't beat nobody else, Dre. They ain't beat nobody else. They lost to the Titans, the 49ers, and Green Bay all in a row. The teams that are good, they lost to. They beat one good team. The coach wasn't good when they beat them in week 2. Chicago is still a mess. Seattle, that wasn't nothing. New York Giants, Detroit, Texans, come on, bro. So who have they played? And so now when it counts the most, you acting like you did when you was in Detroit. That's why I'm saying you're approaching bum status, bro, because you ain't won against none of these good teams. So you ain't know. Look, they're on the same level as the Cowboys as far as you concerned. That's just it might as well be that.
He didn't show, if he played like a bum and only threw for 150 yards and 4 interceptions, I get it. When you score 28 points against a top echelon NFC team at their stay in Green Bay, that's not the defense. Y'all just acting like the defense don't matter.
So what was the reason for losing against the 49ers? So what was the reason against the Titans? They ain't got that kind of quarterback. They ain't got that quarterback.
Kyle Shanahan outcoached what's his name? They muddied it up. They out physical the Rams. It was a smart game plan by the 49ers. I give all credit to Shanahan in that game. All credit.
So to the fans that watch this show, the solid viewers, now you see the bias you have right here. Because he liked Matt Stafford, there's a whole different, argument. You want to take up for him because this is his boy. But let it be somebody, let it be a Cowboys team.
Let it be Jimmy G. Jimmy G lost to Aaron Rodgers, and Jimmy G put up 31 points. He lost to a field goal at the buzzer. I ain't see you come on talking about what else could he do. Why ain't nobody blaming the defense? It was 37 seconds left.
Did I blame Jimmy G for that loss? No.
You ain't give him no credit. You weren't pumping him up like you doing Pat Stafford now.
What credit should be given?
The same you giving Matthew Stafford.
I didn't give him credit. I just said he's not to blame.
So his 2 turnovers, one being a pick six. His 2 turnovers and one being a pick six makes him blameless.
If the quarterback throws a pick six, he's a bum.
Nobody called him a bum.
It's a collective, bro.
Dre,
Yes, he is.
Did I say that? Did I say that when he lost against the Tennessee Titans? No. Did I say that when he lost against the 49ers? No. But you lost 3 games in a row, and all 3 games is because of you making bad decisions. Your stats means nothing to me, bro. I don't. Hold on. Your stats don't mean nothing to me. Your turnovers, your 3 and outs, your 5 and outs. You not producing points in the first half and the second half. That makes your defense tired, bro. So, yes, when it comes down toward the end, yeah, they tired. They're going to give up some stuff. But your decision-making, I don't care nothing about your stats. Yeah, I can talk about Dak stats all day, but a lot of it, yeah, it was some late game stuff where we had to pass, and he just padding the stats. I don't care about your stats like you do. I'm talking about what you're doing on the field, your decision making, the fact that you can't bring home the win with all the talent you got, everything they gave to give you. After 3 straight losses, Dre, I said he's approaching bum status. Now, Carson Wentz been bum status all year for me. That goes from back to last year. He's approaching bum status with the 3 in a row losses he had.
And all 3 losses, he accounted for multiple turnovers. He spotted Tennessee 14. He said that himself. Back-to-back turnovers, one of them a pick six. He turns around against San Francisco, back-to-back turnovers. Wasn't no pick six, but both of those turnovers led to points by my squad. Then he turns around against Green Bay and turns the ball over 2 more times. Again, one of them a pick six. 3 consecutive weeks with a pick six, 3 consecutive weeks with multiple turnovers. Yes, he is the blame.
Yeah, so here we go, Dre. So first quarter punt, next one fumble. You got turnover on downs in the second quarter. You finally, I mean, in the first quarter. So you got three turnovers basically, because a turnover on downs is a turnover. So you got 3 turnovers, if I'm correct, in the first, no, 2 turnovers in the first quarter.
Tony, do we know
You
why
get a
those
touchdown. You got a punt. You did
was
get a
any
field goal.
Hold up,
You
Dre. Hold
finally
up.
got a
Let him finish,
touchdown.
Dre. Let him finish.
You got punts, interception, punts. Bruh, if you not moving the ball, that's on you. You play a part in that as well. That ain't the defense. If you're not putting points on the board, if you're punting as many times as they punt, if you turn the ball over 3 times total, 1 an interception, 1 turnover on downs, and another one a fumble, yeah, bro, you played a part. You played a part.
Tony?
Those are
How
points
many
taken off the board.
How many holding penalties? How many running backs drop or quarterbacks drop the ball? I mean, receivers drop the ball. You
Let's
can't
move
put
on.
everything on a quarterback.
Let's move on, because you do it to other people's quarterbacks,
You
but it's
talking
because you
about-
like this dude,
about
you want to
drive.
sit up here and come up with something else.
How many
Nah,
offensive
bro.
linemen on their assignments?
Oh, come on.
I mean,
Really?
you can't put it's 11 guys on that field.
Keep that
You know
in
what?
it.
Yeah,
Keep that in it.
because
Keep that in it. Because I'm gonna say this, and you already know how I feel about Dallas, but I ain't hear none of these excuses for Dallas. And they had penalties, they had drop balls, they had all this same stuff happen to them for every loss. So now all of a sudden you got all these excuses on what everybody else doing. This dude touched the ball every single play. I'm sorry, he is not exempt. And you would do the same thing if it was Jimmy G, who had 2 turnovers, 1 a pick 6, and cost the team the win or the loss. You wouldn't be talking about, oh well, who dropped passes and how many false start pin, nigga. My boy, stop it.
And the only reason why we even elaborate on the Cowboys is because we got Cowboy fans who talk noise about stock up, stock down, and all that stuff. And secondly, y'all don't break down and say because a team scored 28, 31 points that they are bump status. When Dak, I'm sure I can look at Dak's games, and he has the exact same games that Matthew Stafford, and we ain't talking about he's approaching bump status. That's my only thing. We ain't talking about you want to talk about the Rams as a team? Okay, they defense sucks right now. They giving up a lot of points. You know what I'm saying? And they're not winning games. But when you come say Matthew Stafford is approaching bum status when he has 3 TDs and 308 with a 96.6 QBR rating, I'm sorry, that's crazy to me. All because
did he have that rating in the game?
Yes,
I believe my brother said his rating was 40.
His QBR was 45. Now the rating, which is the old school rating, that was 96. His QBR was 45, which is below 50%. It's 0 to 100. He was below average.
When I see what 31 completions at a what was it 40 something? Come on, man.
This dude was 21 of 38 for 302. Yeah, he had 3 TDs, 1 interception, a fumble. But on the other drives when he ain't scored nothing, this dude also stalled a bunch of drives. Couldn't get no points on the board. I'm sorry, bro. We all know the quarterback gets all the glory and all the blame. The quarterback gets all the glory and all the blame. The quarterback gets all the glory, all the blame. I said 3 times for you to make sure you heard it. That's how it goes. And my brother's right, bro. If this was anybody else that you didn't care for, that wasn't a fan, you wasn't a fan of, you didn't make none of these excuses for anybody else. You ain't make none of these excuses for anybody else. None.
He scored 17 points in the quarter, and when the lights were brightest, he scored 11 in the fourth, while the Packers scored 0. He scored 17 in a quarter.
Okay, but he scored 0 in the first and third. And
24-7. All that, what you talking about, punting and all the first 4 drives, the Packers only scored 7.
And they scored. That's the difference in the game, pretty much, ain't it? Yeah. So 8 points. A touchdown with a 2-point conversion. So that was the difference in the game. Bottom line is, for 2 quarters out of that, he scored nothing as well. So don't tell me about what he did do, because what you did do wasn't enough to win the game.
So when I'm looking at it, if the defense didn't give up 16 points at the third quarter, they'd have won that game.
If he wouldn't have threw a pick 6, they may have won that game. If he scored in the first or the third quarter, they would have won that game.
If you don't turn the ball over twice,
you
man,
don't fumble,
they lost
you
the turn.
won that game. Bro, Don't come with the ifs, man. I can have my. For me, he's approaching bum status. Approaching 3 straight games. He had a big part in losing those 3 straight games.
All right,
Okay,
let's move on. Final game we gonna touch on. Bang bang, not a game. You know what I'm talking about? What's this? I think this is our third win in a row. Yeah. Who we played last? We played last week.
We
Jacksonville.
are not 40. We
Yeah.
are not 49
So
fans. So
it was Jacksonville. So this is our third win in a row. Our fourth win in the last 5 games. Thoughts?
what's the
Don't
thought?
don't
No, I don't
don't
have
all
no.
speak at once now.
I don't have no thoughts.
Me neither.
For what?
No problem.
For what?
Y'all
I
see?
believe.
Do
If
y'all
I'm
see
if I'm
it?
correct, hold on. If I'm correct, let me find. I believe I picked the Niners to win. So what is there to talk about? Y'all did exactly what I expected y'all to do. So I mean, I don't know what else you want.
Well, Dre, you picked against us, so you still ain't got nothing to say.
Who'd y'all play?
Minnesota.
Yeah, I beat Minnesota. Equally matched team on the same level. I guess that's a good win for y'all, but still a team. All y'all doing is improving your draft. No, y'all decreasing your draft value because you're just going further down the draft. But you
So
ain't
what?
gonna make the playoffs.
We traded our first round pick anyway.
Oh,
What
well,
we
so then, so you just winning for pride right now. It ain't like you gonna make the playoffs or make any noise. So I mean, hey, good victory for you. Oh yeah, y'all pick 20th instead of 10th. That's all it is. At least you got the quarterback for the future.
Okay.
You know, Jimmy's trying to look good for his new job, his new gig. He's gonna be a backup somewhere.
I mean, like I think I said earlier, your team looks to be healthy if they can stay there. Now I saw your boy Debo got a little hurt. So, as long as he ain't missing no games, because right now he's our best player on offense, in my opinion, right now. Dude is doing everything. Wide receiver, running back. You know what I'm saying? Dude is a beast. I give him that. I give him his props. Dude is a beast.
You agree, Dre? You told me when we lost Raheem Mostert that we lost our best player, and you said we ain't had no receivers. Now all of a sudden, Debo our best player. I mean, you need to be consistent, make up your mind.
Debo's a slash. He run the ball for y'all and everything, you know. But hey, I could be wrong. You know, Debo, he proving something. But he more of a running back now these days. He's like Montgomery was with the Packers, you know. He more of
That's
a
what I was trying
slash.
to think of. Ty Montgomery, yeah.
Yeah,
He
you
more,
know,
he's,
you know,
He's
he a better running back.
he more of a running back. 1,000-yard receiver is more of a running back now.
well, because of y'all injuries, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
right
saying.
now he's kind of been y'all best running back the last couple of games or so.
Kettle is your best player, but you don't have a quarterback to take advantage of. It ain't like he gonna throw it 30 times in the game. So, you know, your tight end is not gonna get his true value like he would if he was in Kansas City or Dallas or another team.
Well, his true value is as a blocker. That's what he does best.
You start catching that rock.
As far as him catching the ball, his true value is after the catch. His run after the catch, not being able to be tackled. He's not a Kelsey as a route runner. You know, he don't have Tony Gonzalez type hands. You know, you want to get him the ball, let him break some tackles and punish people. And then in the run game, for him to punish people. That's why he's the best all-around tight end in football. But so this is what I'm gonna say. You know,
I want to say, I'm looking at some man, your boy, and I thought I saw a little bit on him. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of fell asleep on the 3 o'clock game. Elijah Mitchell seemed to be stepping up pretty good too, man.
yeah.
I
Elijah
saw some
Mitchell,
stats on him.
yeah, that's my best.
133 yards rushing, 35 yards receiving. Yeah, that's a nice solid game for him.
Yeah, he my best running back. He broke his hand. I think in the Rams game, or a finger. He broke a finger, so they had to put a rod in his finger. He missed the game against Jacksonville, and so he came back and played this game. And he was hurt early in the year. We lost most of the first game. Then Mitchell got hurt, so he ended up, losing a couple of games. So, but yeah, man, Debo say he felt his groin, I think, get tight. So they just shut him down, for the rest of the game. Fred Warner got a tight hamstring in the game, so they shut him down for the rest of the game.
Cost me some
Greenlaw,
fantasy points.
yeah, Greenlaw just came back today, and then he had a hamstring in the game. So, man, it's like soon as we start to get healthy, now we could be suffering some more of these little nagging injuries or whatever, But um, uh, my boys is starting, like I said last week, they starting to play like the team I expected them to be when the season started. I thought we was gonna be a physical team, strong defense, strong running game, and a highly efficient quarterback that's gonna move the ball, pick up third downs, win football games. Like that's all he does. The boy just win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we starting to look like. And so we gotta keep it up. Hopefully these ain't nothing serious. I'm picking against my team for next week. We ain't got the picks yet, but I'm picking against them because I
Taking one for
believe
the team.
I believe with these injuries, I don't think we're gonna come out clean on the injury aspect, and we playing Seattle in Seattle. And no matter what happens with Seattle tomorrow night, I think that next week's game is gonna be Seattle Super Bowl. The NFL done already stripped them of that Sunday because we supposed to play Seattle next week on Sunday Night Football, and they flexed us. They flexed that game out for Denver, Kansas City, I believe, and it's really because Seattle was sitting at 3-7. You know what I'm saying? If Seattle was sitting at 6-5 or 5-5, right there in the playoff hunt, I think they would have left it like it was. You know what I'm saying? Two inter-squad division there is, as far as the media is concerned, there's a real rivalry there. So they would have kept that game, but Seattle just ain't been playing well, and with their record, they flexed us out. But I think that's gonna be their Super Bowl against us next week, and they gonna do everything in their power. I see you, Dre. They gonna do everything in their power to play spoiler against us. Now, if we able to somehow pull it out, that's a game changer in my opinion for my squad. But I'm not sure with the injuries that we suffered today that we're gonna be able to overcome it um, against Seattle next week. What's up, Dre?
So you're gonna pick them to lose next week, but you bring up that y'all have a game away from the Rams. So with the loss next week, you still think y'all gonna catch the Rams and make the playoffs?
Well, I didn't necessarily say that we was gonna catch the Rams. I said, don't look now, we a game back. I don't think that the Rams is gonna win out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not expecting that the Rams is just finna go 6-0 to finish out the season. So us, taking a loss, here or there, don't necessarily put us out of running for the number 5 seed. I believe that, if we don't lose Fred Warner and Greenlaw and Debo going up into Seattle, you know what I'm saying? Then it's possible that my team could still pull out that victory and keep us on pace. And really, if we can stay right where we at through the end of the season, the last game of the season for us is against the Rams. So beat them the last game of the season, that still puts us in position. We just got to take care of business. We gotta do what we've been doing, continue to get better. This was a good game against Minnesota. It's closer than what it really should have been, in my opinion, because we missed the field goal late in the game that would have gave us an 11-point lead, and they had a kickoff return for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That they gave them 26 points. So I think that the game was closer than what it actually was. We played well after, they scored a couple of touchdowns. Um, we locked in defensively. Jimmy, first possession, I think we went 3-and-out, or he threw a pick. Yeah, he threw a pick on our first possession. You know what I'm saying? They went 3-and-out. We get the ball. Jimmy throws a pick. For the rest of the game, Jimmy made big time throws, big time plays. You know what I'm saying? To keep the offense moving and for us to put points on the board. And like I said, during this winning streak, I think it's only one game where we scored less than 30 points. So my offense is starting to come around. It's starting to click. And defensively, we staying solid. So we just got to keep doing what we doing, put ourselves in position, and hopefully we can get the number 5 seed. And wild card weekend will feature San Francisco at the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? For a chance to move on to the divisional round. Hopefully we get to see that, because I know we all would love to see that matchup. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to our picks for next
Somebody
week.
gonna write this down? The Ron ain't on here. I don't have no paper out here.
Hold on. Let me grab some. Talk amongst yourselves.
Quickly. Jimmy was 17 of 26 for 230 and a touchdown, interception, 2 sacks, and 90.2. I would love to see what his QBR was. So that's not approaching bum status.
Jimmy is not the quarterback Matt Stafford is supposed to be. They didn't give up what they gave him for Jimmy to get like they did for Matt Stafford. Everybody said Matt Stafford, because he was here, they was basically Super Bowl bound. Okay, Jimmy does what Jimmy does. There ain't no mistake about that. We know who Jimmy is.
No,
He's a
Ant
bus
don't
driver.
know. We know, but Ant don't know.
Well, my brother ain't never put him out there as on a Matthew Stafford level, I don't believe, but I let him speak for himself. So for me, because I don't want to say Matthew's approaching bump status. For me, no, Jimmy not approaching bump status because Jimmy is doing what Jimmy does. We already know it's about the defense and the run game. And him just doing enough to not lose the game. And that's what they was able to do. So for me, no. Matthew Stafford, with everything that can. Now, I did say this. I said, and it seems to have come to fruition. So I said when they got Von Miller, I say a lot of times when teams go and try to get these other high profile players, thinking they're that one player away from getting to the next level, things don't work out. And ever since they got Von Miller, they have lost 3 games in a row. Defense supposed to have been better. They had a good defense before they got him. It seemed like it's went down since they got him. So for me, Matthew Stafford, for what he was supposed to be, what everybody said he was going to be, from the way everybody talked about him from the beginning of the season, when they went through one of those 4, 5, 6 games straight or whatever it was, to now on a 3-game losing streak, yeah. And me watching the games, because I watched a lot of the last 3 games, and his decision making, his throws, he's looking like he did when he was at Detroit. And to be now, when you was in Detroit, you're not bum stats because you in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole culture thing over there. You know that's another team you go to end your career. That's where your career go to die. It's Detroit, and it used to be Cleveland. Okay, but Matthew Stafford went to a team that was stacked already. They just wanted another quarterback to get them to the next level because they didn't feel Jared Goff could do that. But this is a dude that did take them to the Super Bowl. So Matthew Stafford's supposed to come in and help you win the Super Bowl. And for you to lose 3 games straight against 3 solid teams, and A huge part of that is on you as the quarterback. Yeah, to me, you're approaching it. Now let's see how you come back. You got 6 games left. Let's see how you adjust that. You know what I'm saying? He can come back out of that, play solid games. Even the next game, you play a solid game the next game, man. Do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Then no, you're not approaching no more. You take a step back. But you lose another game. I'm sorry, you lose the next game against any team, solid or not. You go into the bum status with Carson Wentz for me.
So part of yours is the expectation of the quarterback.
Yeah, for him, yeah. For him, it's part of the expectation because
Mhm.
Carson Wentz is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? There was so much expectation for this dude out in Philly. And they blamed the coach and all that out in Philly for him performing the way he did. And the coach played a part in it. But now you go to the coach and you doing some of the same stuff.
Y'all still talking
Yeah.
about Carson Wentz or Matthew
Well,
Stafford?
You
Matthew
left.
Stafford.
I had to bring up Jimmy's stats in this game since you was talking about bump status, and we don't even want to talk about that boo boo numbers. Them boo boo numbers is worse than Tyrod Taylor.
First of all, I never said nothing about bum status. My brother did.
I was just
Um,
asking the question. Hey,
second
Tony,
of all-
answer it. I
second-
understand now. I
second-
understand Tony's viewpoints. We good. Go on with the picks.
Second of all, I don't believe that the offense that Matt Padford is running, or most any other quarterback is running the same offense that we running out there in Santa Clara.
I already know that. I mean, everybody know that.
Okay, so I don't understand why you talking about Jimmy's stats if you know the kind of offense that we run.
Case Keenum and Colt McCoy can run that offense, and all they got to do is
Yeah,
hand
but
off the
those
ball.
problems, they can't win. They can't win like Jimmy. They had a chance, and if they was winning like Jimmy, they'll still be starting. Instead, they couldn't, and so they not.
Anyway, let's go to the picks.
That is New Orleans Thursday night football.
Let's go to the picks. Jimmy gone. Jimmy got what? How many more games? 6 games?
Dallas, New Orleans Thursday night football.
Trey Lance going to be the quarterback of the Niners, so let's go.
You know who I got. It don't change for me.
What's the first one? Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Cowboys, Thursday night, Cowboys Saints.
They play Thursday again?
Yeah, we've been doing
They
that
do
like
that
last
every
2-3
year.
years.
You know.
Well, I know they play on Thanksgiving. I know they get another
Yeah.
Thursday.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they did have the same thing last year,
yeah.
and it seemed like they play the Saints every time.
On
yeah,
one of
that's-
those games, anyway.
Right.
They'll beat the Saints. So Saints, yeah.
I think we beat the Saints surely out of the desperation of not losing 3 straight, and then we can get Cooper back.
I'm gonna take Dallas right now, but if Taysom Hill play and Kamara come back, I'm gonna switch my pick to New Orleans.
Well, you know Cooper going to be back, right? What's the one who had the concussion?
Yeah, but I still
Lamb.
think New Orleans. I think New
CD.
Orleans defense. I think New Orleans defense is good. I think it's underrated, and I believe that they will be able to contain Dallas. The flip side is, can Dallas stop the run? Can between Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara, can they keep that running game going to keep Dallas offense on the sideline? I believe they can.
Well, that's only if they don't get behind. With Cooper coming back, Lamb probably coming back from that concussion protocol because he almost made his last game. We get both of them back. You know what I'm saying? I think our offense get back to what it was because the problem we had these last 2 games is without having them, we didn't have any receivers really that was feared or could create separation. Lamb and Coop can create separation, which allows the other guys to get one-on-one matches that they can potentially, exploit, especially because most of the time they're not playing a man defense against us with Coop and CD Lamb in there. They tend to play a zone.
Well, I'm going with the Cowboys. If the Cowboys lose to the Saints, I'm canceling for the rest of the season. Rest of the season, I'll never pick the Cowboys again. I'm done. ATL to me if they lose to the Saints.
Did you pick them the last 2 weeks?
No, I didn't pick them last week. I picked the Raiders last week. Yeah.
I picked the Raiders last week too. All right, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. I think we all gonna go Tampa Bay, right?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go that for now. I may change that. Tampa Bay been struggling. Atlanta's not that bad.
Okay, next one is Arizona, Chicago.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I think we all going. The next one is the Chargers versus Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
You say Chargers versus who?
Cincinnati.
Bengals.
Oh, Cincinnati. Cincinnati.
All right, next one is okay. We all going Minnesota versus Detroit. Uh, Indianapolis versus Houston.
Colts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Colts.
Is this Boo Boo Bowl? Nah, not really. Giants versus Miami.
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 Yeah, we all going Miami. Philadelphia versus the Jets.
Philadelphia.
Mm. That's not a 4 game difference, is it?
You say what?
Nope,
4 game difference from nope.
nope. It's a 2 game
Uh,
difference.
I'm gonna go Philly. I go Philly.
All right, Washington versus Las Vegas.
Washington.
Washington.
Coming off a bye week.
Ugh, that's a good one. There, that's a tight one. I'm gonna go Washington too.
All right,
Where you going,
Jacksonville
bro?
versus.
Who you
Oh, I'm
going
going.
with?
My bad, my bad. I'm going Washington. We all going Washington. All right. Next game is Jacksonville versus the Rams.
I'm gonna go Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, we all going Rams. Baltimore versus Pittsburgh.
Baltimore.
Ooh, shoot, I don't know. I mean, I
I'm going
want to
Baltimore.
say the Ravens, but shoot, after tonight's game, Lamar looked like boo boo. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens though, but barely. I might change mine to admit, Steelers might have one of bounce back games again. They behinds whoop.
All right. Niner gang versus the Sea Chickens.
You said their house, right?
Yeah, we in Seattle.
Yeah, who won their first game?
Seattle.
I'm taking Niners.
And I'm taking that Seattle fried sea chicken.
I'm going Seattle too. But I will change it if I find out how my boys come you with the injuries. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the injury report, come Wednesday and Thursday.
I may change
Denver.
it just because Seattle coming off a bye week.
No, they not. They got to play Monday night. They play tomorrow
Oh, they
night.
do. That's right. That's
Football
right.
team.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going Niners for now.
All right, Denver at Kansas City.
KC.
I'm going. Let me see if Teddy Bridgewater play, because he did go out for a little bit with an injury. If Teddy Bridgewater play, I'm going Denver.
Me too. Same thing. If Bridgewater play, I'm going Broncos. Okay. Sunday night football. Or was that Monday night football? Nah, that's Monday night football. New England versus the Bills.
Bills.
Ooh, I'm going. Who's at home?
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Patriots.
Me too. I'm going
I
with the
think
Patriots.
I think Bill Belichick got something for old Josh Allen.
Yeah, that defense been on fire, man. That defense has been playing lights out, and old McCorkle, steady as she blows. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fellas, that'll do the picks. Y'all got anything else before we get up out of here?
Quickly, Ant, what you think about John Wall coming back?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think they need him. I think they need this. They had a plan. I think they need to stick with it. I know that John Wall is the one who initiated these conversations or whatever, but that's really just him, being bored. You're on the team, you're practicing with them all week, everybody getting pumped up to get ready for a game, and you sitting there looking stupid. You healthy, and you just ain't playing.
So you're trying to keep the trade value or buyout value? Because I think you're going to trade that line.
I mean, that could be, something that he looking at, trying to increase his trade value. Ain't nobody really biting. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody checking for him. But I really just think, if it's me and I'm on this team, I'm healthy, and I'm watching everybody else day in, day out, get ready for a game, get prepared for a game, preparing themselves, watching film, doing all that. At some point, man, I'm going to want to play if I'm around the team every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he wasn't on the team, they just like say, man, just go on and go home. You good. Your check's going to hit your deposit. Just going to take it to the crib. I don't think he'll really be worried about playing. So it could be both, though. It could be a little bit of boredom, just wanting to get out there, wanting to compete. And then the other part is ain't nobody checking for me. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to trade nothing for me.
I don't know. That's hard, man. I get 44 mil to sit at home. That's hard.
Hard how? You mean hard in a bad way? Like you don't want to do it, or?
Meaning because if I could be at home and do nothing but go to the gym and work out, watch film, help out some other dudes, and y'all gonna pay me 40 mil to do it at the crib? I mean, like not play the games, not especially all the injuries he's had. I'm like, hey man, let me chill out. And after the trade deadline, they're gonna buy me out. So I can go quickly sign with a veteran squad and I can pick my team. Then go out here, jeopardize getting hurt. And then even if they do buy me out, I can't sign with nobody. I'm hurt.
They ain't buying him out.
Gonna sign me now.
That cheap owner is not gonna buy him out, bro.
I think they will it's going to be the same thing anyway. After the trade deadline, you talking about paying them the remaining balance of the season. At that point is what?
No, to buy him out, you got to pay him the rest of this year and for next year. Remember, he had 2 years left. That's $90 million.
I didn't know he had one. I thought this was it.
No, he got one more.
Oh well, yeah, you're right.
That's why nobody been really trying to trade him. The owner too cheap to buy him out or too broke.
I wouldn't buy him out either if I got to pay him 90 mil. That's crazy.
Yeah, usually on a buyout, there's a compromise, so it probably wouldn't have been 90. It probably would have been like 75. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you 75 million, and you go on ahead and find a team and lock on to a championship caliber team. You playing, you compete for a championship, and you getting a check from your new team and from your old team. If you a competitor, you gonna do that.
Oh yeah, he would. But if I'm an owner of a team, I ain't paying no player 75 million on the buyout. I agree with that. That's stupid.
You don't pay it all at once, but bro, you do it so that you don't have this dude breathing over the shoulder of your young team. If you make the decision that we finna go with our youngsters, we're gonna take our lumps. We know it's gonna be a bad season. We're not gonna win a whole lot of games, but they need the experience. Scoop needs the experience of being a point guard and playing that position, getting everybody else involved along with helping with the scoring. He got to get that. Same thing with Jalen Green, needs the experience. Your young guys need the experience. So if that's your plan, then you don't want a veteran like John Wall breathing down their neck, trying to doing all that other stuff. So you clear the books. I would have bought him out. I would have got Eric Gordon and traded him away. And Daniel House ain't too much of an issue, so I play that by ear. I probably would have kept Daniel House, you know what I'm saying, as a small forward, small ball power forward. See how he playing. See if he can lift his draft profile. And if somebody checking for him at the trade deadline, then I may make that move. Other than that, I may keep him. You know what I'm saying? But the veterans, Eric Gordon and John Wall, I'm getting them off the team. I'm clearing the board so that playing time could be given to Josh Christopher and Jalen Green and Garuba and Shingun. Like that's what I'm doing. Instead, they got these veterans on the team that got 3 wins. You know that they really not locked in, night out. Well, John Wall ain't playing. And that's just him saying, I'm not giving up no money. I don't know who wants me, who gonna be checking for me. And so I want all my money.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'll sit on the bench, you know what I'm saying, and or whatever. I'll do that, but I'll just get paid. And so for me, I ain't blaming them. I ain't knocking them for it, because I probably want all mine too if I didn't had, major injuries that made me miss a full season and all this. Then yeah, I probably want all my money. And if y'all gonna pay me to sit on the bench, cool. But I also understand, as a competitor, you sitting on the bench and you own the team, you are like actively with the team day in, day out. You are gonna want to play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not liking either one. I just don't agree with. I don't know no owner. Period. I can't even think of an NBA history that's gonna pay a $75 million buyout, and he still got that. That's not smart business at all. That only, especially when you're gonna pay that money, you got to fill that void in the roster spot on someone else. Nah, I'm gonna try to wait and see if I can trade him, even if I have to wait till the trade deadline next year and trade him, and at least have the veteran presence in the locker room and watching the film, as another coach, have some value in that way, even if it's him just playing dummy defense in practice. I'm not going to pay no $75 million and send you to another squad and I get nothing in return, no value in return. Nah. Especially when I'm rebuilding, I'm not going to turn around, take the open roster spot and go sign another veteran to help me win. Nah, we rebuild it. But yeah, I was just wondering, man, I saw that and I was like, man, with Green out for probably a week or two, I didn't know if it was just him trying to increase his draft spot, his trade value.
Well, I'm trying to look at who had the highest buyout. Because, like I say, it's something that I would definitely consider, just to go on ahead and get them off the books.
I'll wait to see if I can, a team like Indiana, somebody on a verge of being a good 4th or 5th seed in the East or something like that, who was a player away from really competing. Like they say, Miami interested, but they wait for a buyout. Nah, I'm waiting.
Okay, so the highest one goes back 2 decades. And that was at $31.7 million.
Yeah, if we could do a $37 million buyout,
that was over 20 years ago. Account for inflation. Compare the contracts that dudes is getting now compared to what they was getting then.
I want to know who was doing.
He was a no-name person, Bison Dell.
So he was getting $37 million. That sounds like that agent did a great job.
He signed a $45 million contract for 7 years.
Oh, that means he was boo-boo then. What? Most of that was guaranteed money?
He played basically.
He got a cold agent. He got a cold agent to get $37 million for a guy we can't even remember. We basketball fans.
Second place was Larry Sanders at 21.9. So
Yeah, broke up, bro. So we didn't hear most of that.
what you said?
You broke up, so we didn't hear most of that.
Oh no, I was just saying the second highest was Larry Sanders at 21.9 million. Um, but you know,
Hello?
He has his phone starting to break up on him.
He breaking up a
I know
lot.
she. Am I breaking up now?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you back a little bit now, but yeah,
Oh,
your internet just started
dang.
messing with your bandwidth.
Well, Tony, while he get right, quick question for you. How many head coaching jobs you think gonna be available at the end of this season in the NFL?
Uh, I think the Giants head coaching spot gonna be open. They already got rid of Jason Garrett, so I think the
Yeah.
head coach is next unless they show drastic improvement these last 6 games. Now if he can win 3 out of the last 6, he may get another year himself. But I think he gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly's quarter coach is gone. Jacksonville probably try something different. Depending on what Cleveland do, they may do something different. Um,
The main
Oakland,
team you
I don't.
forgot about.
Oakland may. I don't know if they're gonna keep the interim coach. It kind of depends on what he do rest of the season too, because they lost like what 3 games in a row before they beat Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, depending on what he can do after that, that could have been just limelight, Cowboys, everybody get up to play them. If they go back to their losing ways, then they don't keep him as a head coach, and they find somebody else. That's about
The
all I
main
can think
thing.
of.
I think
What's
The
that?
Seattle.
main,
Oh yeah, Seattle. Yes, yeah, yeah.
hey, neither one of y'all mentioned Chicago, and Matt Nagy ain't been and getting
Yeah,
fired the whole season.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
The time
I
on
was
him
trying to
gone.
think. Well, I think, yeah, I think because I heard them claim that his job wasn't in jeopardy. I was like, I don't know. Depending on what they do, they may give him another chance. But nah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Chicago, Nagy is probably number one,
Yeah,
Yeah, number
number
one.
two on the list. Number one, number two on the list to be gone first.
Yeah.
yeah. He don't even. I don't know if their last game is at home or away, but he don't even get back to the locker room good. They can give him that pink slip.
All right, man. I want to ask y'all. I want to ask y'all one thing before we go on and get up out of here, and this is just to see if y'all, because I addressed it last week when I did the pod uh by myself, and I touched on the verdicts in the Mark Arbery trial.
I didn't
And
get
so,
to watch the rest of the pod, but go ahead.
yeah, so I just want to see if y'all had any thoughts on it. All of them being found guilty for murder on one level or another.
I actually agree with Tony's first statement in our text message on the day of the verdict. And I didn't get to go into details to see your reply, Antoine, but I'm actually shocked that the one who did record it did get a murder charge. I thought they were going to give him maybe a little lesser sentence. I was thinking maybe more of like a 25-year sentence or something, because honestly speaking, if it wasn't that video there, none of this happens. And they probably get scot-free away with all of it. And the fact is, I know two of them, the guys that didn't pull the trigger, didn't get intentional murder. If I can't remember the exact charge,
They
but
did. They didn't get malice murder.
malice murder. There you go. But I actually was shocked that he got tagged with the murder, because he did issue out the video. His lawyer tried to, give out the video thinking it was going to work in their benefit or self-defense, but
That ain't actually how it worked. The video was leaked. It was leaked by another defense attorney that he showed it to. And that defense attorney leaked that video to the public. Now,
Oh,
the reason why he ended up getting a murder charge is because, and like I said, they've been doing this to black people for hundreds of years. You know, like if you in the car when somebody else commits the crime, well, then you get the same charge. Me and you in the car together, and I go off into a store and I shoot and kill the clerk, come back out to the car and we burn off, you get some murder charge just like I did. You know what I'm saying? And because he participated in trying to hit Ahmaud Arbery, trying to trap him, he did all of that participating with the McMichaels. The fact that he recorded didn't, excuse him of the murder charge. So his murder charge was tied to the aggravated assault with the motor vehicle. You tried to hit him with your motor vehicle. You tried to false imprison him with your motor vehicle. He ended up dying from that. So you get a murder charge.
Right. And I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I know for me, the reason I was surprised, you got 11, you know, Caucasian citizens in that jury. That's what I'm gonna call these two people today. You got 11 Caucasian citizens in that jury, one black citizen. I did not expect them to give him murder. I expected the aggravated assault deal. I was a little surprised by the kidnapping until you brought up the hitting him with his truck. I think that's a part I made, and I think I said it in the text. That's something a detail I think I missed in
me
it because
too.
I didn't get to watch the full thing, you know. But the murder, I figured they would have went with like the aggravated assault and maybe even like a manslaughter or something because a lot of times when party to a crime, if you're not the one that pulled the gun, then you sometimes get a lesser charge than the person that actually pulled shot the suspect or the person, not the suspect, but shot the person. So I was expecting them to go ahead because they were three white defendants, almost all white jury, that they would have felt some kind of empathy for him, sympathy, whatever you want to call it, and say, okay, since he didn't pull the trigger and he wasn't the one that actively was doing the stuff that the Michaels were doing, because he was mostly trying to record. Yeah, he tried to block off, he tried to help with the citizens arrest part of it, but I figured they would have said, well, can we give him a lesser sentence? Can we give him manslaughter? Can we give him a lesser murder charge that carried a lesser sentence than what they gave? That's what I thought was would have happened.
Well, real quick, that probably would have if he would have testified against the McMichaels,
Mm.
right? If he would have went to and really he gave it to the police. So the police and the other three district attorneys who all saw they saw the evidence, they saw the video, they knew he had it the entire time. You know what I'm saying? But once they figured out, and like I said, these dudes were so arrogant that they all admitted to what they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So once he admits that he was trying to hit him, ran him off the road a couple of times, you know what I'm saying, and was doing all this helping the McMichaels, but now you pointed to the crime. So anything that the end result of that encounter, you got to bear the burden too. And again, since he was almost like a co-defendant, even though he had his own lawyer, they all had their own lawyers. They all was being tried together.
Mm-hmm.
You never said I'll testify against them, which really he didn't have nothing to offer the state anyway in the
Not
form
because
of
the video
testimony.
said everything.
Right.
The
And then you
video
was
says all.
helping. You didn't admit that you was helping. So there's nothing that you can offer to the state that's gonna make them say, okay, well, we'll charge you with second-degree manslaughter and we'll charge them with murder. So Dre, you got something?
Like he stepped away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's about it, man. I was a little surprised, but you bring that extra into it that I missed. because I was working crazy shifts throughout that trial. So quite a bit I missed.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, the smart thing, if he'd have been smart, but he wasn't because of his arrogance, he'd have been smart. He'd have asked to have his trial separate, and then he could have
Yeah.
testified against them in his trial to help save his butt. Because there's some things that probably wasn't said, between the amongst them that he could have shared, brought to light what the real intent was, and that it wasn't just a citizen arrest.
Oh, well, he did say that after they killed the Mark Arbery, that the daddy stood over him and called him a effing N word
Mm.
while he was laying on the ground dying. And the dude who was recording told that to the police. But you know that the justice system ain't finna let that be injected into the trial. Or the fact that on the son's truck he had the Confederate flag as his license plate. Use racial epithets on Facebook or his social media. They ain't finna let none of that in. But I'm still happy that they got the convictions without interjecting race into the trial at all. The
Yeah.
only people who tried to inject it was the defense attorney who was talking about we don't want no more black pastors, coming up into this courthouse. You know what I'm saying?
Or
He
the
the only
fact
one.
that this dude wasn't running because his nails was long and dirty or something. I'm like, really?
Yeah, that woman said that at closing. Yeah. All right, Dre, you got something to add to this before we get up out of here, man?
You froze, bro.
Correction it did, as far as the guilty verdict.
Hold on, start over. Start over. He walking around the house,
Yeah.
freezing
Hitting
up.
them, hitting them dead spots in the
Hello?
house.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
walking
there
around
you
the
go.
house, going into the dead spot, you freezing up and everything. We don't know nothing you said.
Oh, I said, man, I'm glad that the verdict went the way it did, man. The only thing you could do is pray for the family because, still that young man ain't coming home at night. So, I'm glad justice actually worked and justice was served, I should say, actually in this case. We just shocked that, me and Tony, I guess you say that guy didn't get a lesser sentence, but I'm actually glad he did,
You and
He
me
gonna
both.
serve pretty much. Well, I'm assuming
His
he
life.
gonna serve life.
His life. His life. The two older gentlemen, the daddy and the dude who recorded, they both in their 60s, and they both got the murder charges that carries where they have to serve a minimum of 25 years in Georgia. The son gets life without parole. When he got convicted of malice murder, he gets life without the possibility of parole. And they still facing federal charges of a hate crime and kidnapping.
Yeah.
I wonder, do they play a part in that what was it, the DA that's being charged now with obstruction of justice and something else?
Yeah, she been charged with obstruction of justice because she tried to kill the investigation. Told the police
Right.
not to pursue them and all of that, and she worked with the daddy.
Yeah,
He
so
worked
that's what I
with her.
was wondering too.
Yeah,
So
so she
do they
going.
get extra charges on that from that as well?
No, they ain't gonna get that because they ain't really have nothing to do with it. That's all on her. They just getting they didn't got convicted by the
Well,
state. Next, they finna have to go against the federal government, and the federal government don't lose. 97% conviction rate. You know what I'm saying? The boys don't play over there. So, but yo, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with us again this week. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back at it again next week. Should we make a special video on Thursday if Dallas lose again?
Nope.
No, I'm just I'm just playing. I work Thursday anyway. But yeah, man, don't forget to like, you know what I'm saying? Drop a comment, hit the subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We'll respond to y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. Tell your friends about me.